Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. The goal of all life is death. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. The mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. Everywhere I go, I find that a poet has been there before me. The first human being who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. Unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. I cannot think of any need in childhood as strong as the need for a father's protection. From error to error, one discovers the entire truth. Love and work are the cornerstones of our humanness. The madman is a dreamer awake. The great question that has never been answered, and which I have not yet been able to answer, despite my 30 years of research into the feminine soul, is what does a woman want? Civilization began the first time an angry person cast a word instead of a rock. The ego is not master in its own house. The more the fruits of knowledge become accessible to men, the more widespread is the decline of religious belief. The liberty of the individual is no gift of civilization. It was greatest before there was any civilization. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea. The doctor should be opaque to his patients and, like a mirror, should show them nothing but what is shown to him. When making a diagnosis, it is important to realize that an individual case of neurosis is not just a piece of pathology, but a significant part of the patient's own life. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. Neurotics complain of their illness, but they make the most of it, and when it comes to talking it away from them, they will defend it like a lioness or young. What we call happiness in the strictest sense comes from the preferably sudden satisfaction of needs which have been dammed up to a high degree. Only the wounded healer can truly heal. Flowers are restful to look at. They have neither emotions nor conflicts. He that has eyes to see and ears to hear may convince himself that no mortal can keep a secret if his lips are silent. He chatters with his fingertips. Betrayal oozes out of him at every pore. If a man has been his mother's undisputed darling, he retains throughout life the triumphant feeling, the confidence in success, which not seldom brings actual success along with it. What a distressing contrast there is between the radiant intelligence of the child and the feeble mentality of the average adult. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. The conscious mind may be compared to a fountain playing in the sun and falling back into the great subterranean pool of subconscious from which it rises. America is the most grandiose experiment the world has seen, but I am afraid it is not going to be a success.